Hey, what's up? It's Dr. Toby here. In this video, I want to show you the best exercise for basketball players that have injured knees, things like tendinitis, patella tendinitis, other kind of issues in their knee like jumper's knee, and they really can't be at their full potential because of that pain. And I want to show you how to do this without having to rely on pain medications. This is going to be an easy video for you to follow along with, and you can take some of these and add them to your arsenal. But the best way to get information that's going to help you personally is to get personal guidance. And so you can hit the link in our description to talk to a PT first if you so oblige. Free conversation to help give you guidance on what things you can apply based on what your injury entails. So let's jump right into this video. If you want to recover from an inflammation issue, an inflammatory kind of condition at your knee, like an itis, patella tendinitis, jumper's knee, things like that, or you're just always feeling some soreness and discomfort, you want to focus on eccentric exercises and slow and control holds with some of the exercises that you're doing. So one of the things we'll start guys off doing is, before we even get into the eccentric exercises where we're doing some slow control holds, we're going to do some isometric stuff. So really basic things that we might do starting off is going to be like some bridges. So we'll be in this position here where we can be on our back, getting them in a position that's not really invasive, especially if you really have a lot of recent pain that's still flared up. We want to get that co-activation of your hamstring and your quads at the same time while activating your glutes. So we're going to be here in this position doing some holds, right? 5-second holds, doing like 2 sets of 10, 2 sets of 15. But again, if you're just like recently injured, we're probably going to go lower on the repetitions, doing some basic holds. You might even go lower on the holds, like 3-second holds, things like that, just to get that body nice and warm and get those muscles used to being activated without feeling the intensity of the pain because you're activating so many muscle fibers. Then we might go into a single leg bridge type of activity. Really hard for a lot of guys to do. If you want to make it easier, you can use your hands here on the ground. That can be a way to encourage a little bit more support. But from there, we can go into some very basic stuff. A simple wall sit can be very effective for the purpose of getting some isometric hold, blood flow, encouraging healing to the tissue. So most guys are like, well, or most patients, a lot of times they're just like, well, I just want to do something to get rid of the pain, I can play better, stuff like that. But sometimes you got to actually facilitate healing to the tissue. So not every exercise is to get rid of the pain or is to just completely make you feel better. You don't want to encourage excessive pain, because more pain doesn't mean more progress. But some exercises you're just doing to help facilitate healing to the tissue and to address some of the weak points that you didn't have before. So we'll start off doing some like a quarter squat, quarter wall sit, not even going all the way down to 90 degrees, doing a quarter wall sit for some guys. Doing that's going to be very helpful. And what you're going to do is start off for like maybe 15 seconds, 20, 30 seconds, things like that. Doing a couple repetitions of that. It's going to be very helpful. From there, we can go into more dynamic movements with holds. That's how we'll progress it. So we'll go from isometric stuff to moving into some dynamic things with some holds. Go down into a squat, hold that position. We might start off doing 3 seconds for guys who are really in an acute phase, which just means they've recently been injured, have a real big flare up, things like that. May not even have them do this particular exercise per se, just depending on what their capability is. But we'll have them hold that position. We might even progress from doing 3-second holds to 5 seconds to even 10 seconds to build that endurance. And some of these things we'll also use as a test to determine what their capacity is. Another great exercise that we'll then show our guys is how to go into a lunge hold position and see how they can do in that position, right? 5-second hold, coming back up, right? Boom. And the reason why this is going to be a good introduction to the main type of exercise we want to do, which is eccentric stuff, is because as we go into that low eccentric loading, what we're doing is we're really improving the health of the tendon. We're putting a lot of force through that tendon as we're slowly lowering. So a lot of times we got to get guys to go much slower. They're just trying to power through a split squat or whatever, or do some lunges and stuff like that. But you got to go slow to facilitate the actual mechanism of your body that's going to heal the tissue, right? And so that's going to be essential. Now, I'm going to show you one of my favorite exercises. Love to have guys do when it comes to having an injury like that. So what we'll do, and you can do this with a lot of different materials, but you can get if you're at a gym, you can simply use a leg extension machine, but love to do a knee extension. So gonna do this knee extension here. And what we're gonna encourage is gonna squeeze something between our legs to get our adductors working. As we squeeze, gonna kick one leg up, point that toe toward our nose, and we're gonna hold this 3 to 5 seconds. And we're maintaining the squeeze right here at the quads or at the thighs, squeezing together, holding that, and then slowly lowering. Squeeze, maintain that squeeze, hold it 3 to 5 seconds, squeeze. And this is one of the first true eccentric exercises we encourage. Squeeze that, good, hold it 3 to 5 seconds, and slowly lower. So these are some good exercises that will make a tremendous difference. And so before we start getting them into like a standing eccentric exercise, like a really great standing eccentric exercise is like the squats, as well as the split squats, lunges. But we can get into this Bulgarian split squat, which is going to be a good one. So we get into this position where we can simply slowly lower, hold that position for a few seconds, and come back up, slowly lower, and come back up. So those are a couple exercises. The best exercise you want to do is going to be the eccentric stuff, but start off doing some of the isometric, which just means you move into the position and you hold it for a certain duration. You can build up from 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 10, 15 seconds. As you build up to higher seconds, let's say you're doing a 10-second hold for an exercise, you can decrease the number of reps. So maybe 3 to 5 reps, things like that. Same thing if you're doing like 15-second holds, 3 to 5 repetitions, which is really the goal is facilitating healing to the tissue and addressing some of the weak issues that you had before and improving your tissue's durability. Because issues like tendinitis, patellar tendinitis, jumper's knee, if you've heard any of those words thrown around you, and maybe you're like, maybe do I have this? You've looked up stuff up online. Well, these are the type of exercises that are going to be the best fit for addressing some of those main problems. So if you found this video helpful, like it and leave a thumbs up. Leave a comment, let us know how it helped you, and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you in the next video.